All right, it's never a bad day for a watch unboxing, and yes, it's a Timex. How'd you guess? Let's get started. I've been feeling a bit nostalgic lately, and I can't wait to open this one up and take a look. And if you grew up in the 70s and 80s, or if you didn't grow up in the 70s and 80s and you just want a piece from that era, enter the Timex Q or Q Timex reissue. It's a 38 millimeter re-release of the 1979 quartz Timex. And in the 70s, it was all about quartz, and then digital and mechanical sort of took a back seat there. And there is our first impression. This is a dive inspired watch. Let's look at the manufacturer's hang tag here, giving you the model number. And first impressions, you see that stainless steel woven bracelet, raised acrylic lens, and nice touches there with the reissue statement. It's a 40-year anniversary reissue, launched in 2019. At the time, MSRP was at $179 US, and they were hard to find. So you can imagine for the first year or so, they were going for much higher than that online. Since then, the market has settled down, but Timex has actually raised MSRP to $189 as of making this video. I did find it on Amazon for well less than that, and you're going to find some good prices, so click on that link that I've got in the description if you choose to make a purchase. Let's go ahead and finish the unboxing and get the presentation out of the way. Again, I'm very happy with the packaging, the box, and look, you're getting a manual, which is always nice if you're buying this to collect. And again, this is a nostalgic reissue watch and would make a great gift or something for your collection, like getting a manual. Albeit this is a pretty generic manual, but nice touch anyway. I would have liked to have seen some kind of a era-specific homage to the 1970s, but still have a 1-year warranty with this watch. And that's everything in the box. And let's get everything put aside and get closer to this watch. Removing our factory hang tag there, and let's get a closer look at that signed buckle. Nice and clean brushed stainless steel with that etched in signature. Taking a nice look at that lovely woven pattern in the bracelet as it tapers up. Let's get the rest of this packaging off. And the first impression is it looks a lot bigger than it is because of the design. Very beautiful stainless steel case. Let's flip it over and take a look at the case back. It's held in with 4 little micro screws there holding on the case back, but you're not going to have to use those necessarily to get to your battery because you have the battery hatch there. And I'm not going to lie, this is probably one of my favorite design elements to this watch because, no, I don't like changing batteries, but it's a quartz watch and it runs on batteries. So why not make it more convenient for the user to get to that battery compartment and slap batteries when you need them? Gorgeous shine to that case, and I love the contrast at each bevel where it meets the band. You've got some nice brushing there. So the case looks a lot bigger than it is. It's 38 millimeters, but that case shape has such a modern, for the time, design. As we peel away the last piece of plastic, we can see our wonderful acrylic domed crystal, and very reflective, but beautiful and has a lot of character to it. Again, it's era specific, so it's going to scratch. Well, that's part of the charm. Look at that distortion. Definitely a cool feature to this watch. All right, let's pull out the spacer and let's get this watch ticking as we pop out our little battery saver there, keeping our movement disengaged from the battery. And if we push it in, the all-important second hand, that beautiful red, I always want to make sure that that is lining up with our markings. And out of the box, I'm liking the way we're lining up. And that's always something I'm always worried about with the quartz, is how's the alignment on that second hand, and it's not disappointing me. It looks beautiful. This is a Seiko movement, I'm told. It's a PC33. It's a day date as well. And we'll get this thing set in a second, but I just can't stop looking at it. There's our unsigned crown. And that blue spacer, it's like a plastic spacer there, giving you some separation from the case and bezel. Just a lot of character to this watch. And I'm sorry about the reflection, but that acrylic is brilliant. And it's definitely not AR coated. But I'm just giving you a real world first impression, and I am very, very impressed with what Timex has done with this watch. We mentioned this is a diver inspired watch, but it does have a rotating bezel, and it is a bidirectional. It goes both ways very smoothly. No clicking, no teeth in this mechanism. It's basically a friction applied gasketed top plate, and it's very smooth. It feels great. Very thin coin edge there on that bezel plate, so you want a nice smooth resistance to that rotation if there's a lot less grip there. Again, you're not going to be doing a lot of diving with this, but it's got that diver character to it. Only 50-meter water resistance, so you won't be doing a lot of action adventure with this watch, but that's really not what it's about. I would see this as more of a go to work, go to school, go out, go to an event, wearing this. So there's a lot of versatility. I bet you could dress this up as well. So I think there's a lot of versatility in a more controlled setting. All right, folks, I held out as long as I could. I gotta get these stickers off of here. We have the Made in China sticker and the Japan Movement sticker. Let's get those off so I can be happy with the case back and all its glory without those stickers in the way. All right, much better. Back to our show. I've gone ahead and mounted the watch to a pillow so we can set our time, and it's a simple ABC crown. Does not screw down, but it's a simple push-pull, and I've got it wedged against that pillow, so it's a little hard for me to reach, but position A is in timekeeping. You pull it out to position B, and you can set your date, and you're rolling that to the right. Position C is how you set your time, and you have to roll that towards you. And the catch to this one is the position B only sets the date. To set the time and the day, you have to use position C and basically spin your hour and minute hands throughout the 24-hour cycles to get to the various days. So that's not an amazing feature to me, but hey, that's part of the charm of the watch. It's retro, and it's got its quirks to it, which is kind of interesting and cool. All right, we have finally swept in our day and date accurately, so we can sort of fine-tune where we are on the time. And everything's set right. Just go ahead and push it all the way to position A. And just like that, you are experiencing some Q Timex accurate timekeeping. Looking at that watch dial, you can see we've got the beautiful blue dial with that kind of a patinaed look to the Lume elements on the hands as well as at the markers. Do have a nice little framed window there around our date and day, and just a simple clean Q at the top with our Timex logo, and then of course the quartz call out at the bottom. Very simple but very classic looking design. And of course, don't forget that red seconds hand, giving you sort of a GMT look. There is a Q Timex GMT watch that I'm going to be taking a look at, I'm sure, because I'm very into Timex lately. But I really love the aesthetics and the look of this watch. It's a attention grabber. Gorgeous. Let's take a quick look at our Lume, and there is some Lume here. I'm having some trouble trying to capture it, but it's definitely not going to be a Seiko or a monster by any means in the Lume department, but hey, 1979, what do you want? It's actually not that bad. So how does this watch line up with other watches that we know? This is the Casio Duro. It's a big watch. It's 44 millimeters. This is putting it in perspective. I'm just trying to give you some screen perspective as to how this watch rides and sits versus a watch you may already know about. I have reviewed my Duro. It's awesome. You got to buy one. But today is all about our Q Timex, and visually and just aesthetically, it just grabs my eye. It looks great. It's holding its own against our Duro, especially if you have a smaller wrist. A lot of folks can't hit the Duro because of the it's a big watch, and it's definitely a true diver. 200-meter water resistance versus a dive inspired at 50-meter water resistance. So we're just trying to give you a good size perspective. Definitely not comparing the application. All right, let me quickly adjust the size on our watch band to fit my 6 3/4 inch wrists. Just get a small screwdriver, simply unlock the adjustable side of the clasp system, slide it to where you want it to be, and then simply re-engage the lock lever. Just push it all the way back down, and it will clamp into place on that bracelet. And we are ready to get this thing on wrist finally. I was trying to make this a quick video today, but there's just too much to this watch that I love. So we hook our clasp in and lock it in with our signed buckle, and we are safely aboard, and that looks wonderful. And I will tell you, this is a 38mm watch, but with that case character to it, it really rides a little bit bigger, and in a good way. It's comfortable. It's not a lightweight or a heavyweight. It's 3.1 ounces or 89 grams. So a very significant timepiece that's got a lot of presence and a lot of character and a lot of great qualities in a very small package. I'm not feeling the hair pulling that a lot of folks are saying. The bracelet is way better than I thought it would be. I highly recommend you try this watch. Let me know your thoughts. Well, I was just trying to do a quick review and first look, but this turned into a marathon. So appreciate you sticking around. If you're still here, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time. Man, that's nice.